Hey, what up, everybody? Stevie Breach coming to you. This is a video that I come to you with regrets. For 3 years, I've honestly been making videos, just trying to get the story out there. Basically, that as wrestling fans, there is a dream match out there that we've never been able to see. Throughout, the history of time, when there was two companies, there was WWE, well, WWF, and WCW. You would always put these sort of dream matches together in your mind of what would happen if an invasion story ever did happen and they met together in one arena and had one big huge super show, and you paired everybody off and battled them out. As a kid, I did it all the time, and as the time went along, guys switched companies. We finally got a Hogan Flair match in WCW. A lot of dream matches happened, later than they really should have, and most of them happened over in WCW. Some of them happened in WWF. They ran the invasion storyline in the 2000s when WWE bought the crumbling WCW and used what little of it they could bring in at the time. It really wouldn't be 100%. Even going through all of that, we've never seen Sting versus Undertaker. Two guys who just really, really, cross paths. And at WrestleMania 27 was the closest we ever got. And I really think that one of the reasons I think a lot of people really look at 27 as a downer was, we were so close to getting Sting versus Taker. So many people were behind it. And though it was saved by one of the greatest matches I've ever seen live, Undertaker versus Triple H. What an awesome match that was. I honestly really thought the streak was over that day. And I really thought the streak was over that day too. Even though, going down to it, I tried my best to convince myself. Once that match was really going down, that's when I really, really got into it, that I thought there was going to be a win for Triple H coming his way. But, now it's actually come down to it. It's put up or shut up time. It's in Sting's corner. Basically, the stories come out that last week when Sting wrestled in the high school gym in Tennessee, basically he wrestled those dates to finish out his contract. And it's not a guarantee, but more than likely he's going to be losing at Genesis Part 2. Tomorrow night against Magnus. I'm not sure. For some reason, I've been able to stay away from the I guess you can say the spoilers, and luckily, none of the real dirt sheets have really put it into the stories. There's been a few Sting stories this week of things that are going down, but basically, the story that I read today was just basically saying that Sting's dates in WCW are all done, and when his contract is over, he's going to be able to do whatever he wants to do. There's no, there's no, what's the clause they always stick on there? The no-compete clause. There's no, last few dates on his show that he has to go, do some random shows somewhere in the middle of nowhere that means nothing. It's done. It's over. He's 100% split. If he wants to bail, he can bail. If TNA wants to come to the tables and offer him the money to come back, that's an option he can do. But honestly, now that it's finally here, it's just weird that it's like I don't want him to wrestle in WWE anymore. I mean, I've seen him wrestle for TNA, and some people are really down on his matches. Some people are really up on his matches. To me, honestly, he's there. I mean, none of the matches to me have been really, that really spectacular. Him and Bully was really, really good. But I don't really think that it was Sting that made that match 100%. It was a story of, Sting, tying up his career, not being able to fight for the championship anymore, me being really, really involved with Aces and Eights, and I'm buying time right now trying to think of another match except for that one that I thought was really great. Honestly, at Bound for Glory, the Magnus match was not what it was supposed to be. That match was really supposed to be really, really good in order to put over Magnus to get him to the point that he is today, and it didn't work. The match, it wasn't that fun. It wasn't that great. But I mean, if Sting does come to WWE, I'm hoping that it's honestly just to finish his career, maybe sign some sort of marketing agreement, maybe put out a 3-disc set documentary on the guy. TNA, I mean, honestly, doesn't even have enough respect for the guy to put out a Best of Sting DVD from TNA. For some reason, Jeff Jarrett is one of the only guys in TNA to ever get a 3-disc set. Everybody else just gets these generic single disc, sort of releases that are just sort of pushed out as fast as they get into the company. AJ's got 2 volumes, but why, do we only have one version of Sting, which is basically, the best of his first year in the company. Kurt Angle, the best of his first year in the company. He's been there for as long as he's been in WWE. He could have made at least the volume 2 and volume 3, and it's not out there. TNA, for some reason, does not understand that there are wrestling fans out there who want to buy their DVDs. I know that they don't have a national, marketing company pushing their DVDs, but I mean, they could be increased sales that go through Shop TNA in order to pick up DVDs. I mean, look at a company like Ring of Honor, Dragon Gate USA, Evolve, so on and so forth. They push their company, and it's built by people buying their DVDs. And I do believe there is people out there that will buy these DVDs in order to put them out. They continue to put out, pay-per-view shows. There's not as many people out there that collect pay-per-view shows. I buy, almost everything that does come out. I do buy it at the winter sale, whatever it is. And there are a lot of people who like to keep their collection up to date, even though TNA is pushing out their DVDs like probably at least 5 months beforehand. It was after Bound for Glory that the one with Sting and Bully Ray. It's their, I always thought it was their WrestleMania, but it's like their SummerSlam, whatever the fuck it is. But I don't know. I'm just hoping that if Sting does come over, it's just for a DVD. It's just for, to get him like some Sting t-shirts, just to get him put into the, the Hall of Fame at WrestleMania and just end his career in the bright lights. I'm hoping that he doesn't come out there and wrestle Taker, because I love Taker. He's at the match, of the night at WrestleMania for the past more than 4 years. It's been a long while since somebody's been able to actually go out there and top him. I mean, like, with Batista coming back, I just have thought of how good that Batista versus Undertaker match was at WrestleMania, and how it was debated whether it was going to be the main event, or whether it was going to be John Cena versus Shawn Michaels, and just wondering what it would have been if that would have been switched around, because that was a damn good match, because John Cena is the wild card in this year's WrestleMania for me. If Sting does come back and face Taker, I'm guessing for Batista versus Brock would be the backup plan, seeing how, Brock Lesnar came out and said he was the number 1 contender. Batista has come out and said that, he's gonna, his whole goal was to win the championship, so maybe make this a number 1 contenders match. I know this would suck to be at WrestleMania, because if you're the number 1 contender coming out of WrestleMania, you have to fight basically at Extreme Rules or on Monday Night Raw, somewhere along the way. And I'm not really 100% sure that's going to happen, but that's that. Cena's my wild card. I don't know what the fuck you're doing, ? Orton versus Bryan would become my WWE World Heavyweight Championship match, just because they're out there, and maybe they could live off the storyline of, how many times Bryan beat Orton, and now is he going to be able to beat him on the big stage, where basically Triple H is not going to be able to take it away from him in the end. But I'm not 100% sold on this. I don't know. I just don't know what Sting does. Honestly, it's put up or shut up time. What do you guys think? Do you want to see Sting in WWE wrestle a match at WrestleMania? Do you want to just see him go into the Hall of Fame? Is there even anybody in WWE that you'd want to see him have a match with that's not Undertaker, that's going to mean anything? No. I mean, the only person that I could see him having a match with that has any ties to him would be Booker T. And I'm not sure what Booker T's job is. I know he shows up on Raw a lot and SmackDown here and there, but since being fired from, being the SmackDown general manager, he's just been a guy who just happens to be at the show all the time. You know, every once in a while he might be talking to Mark Henry or somebody in the back. But he has no job title. And he's not wrestling. So I don't know what the hell he does around there. If you know what if you know what Booker T's job is in WWE, you know, on TV wise, that is, please let me know. Is he supposed to play a backstage agent? And that's, you know, what he's playing is the guy who goes around and gives advice on the matches and things like that. He hasn't been on commentary, and God knows however, ever since JBL came around, so I don't know. Well, no, they took him off commentary to become GM. It wasn't JBL that got it, but I don't know. If Sting does come back and fights Taker, messes everything up, Batista versus Brock would be a damn good match. I'm pretty sure they'd beat the hell out of each other. Orton versus Bryan, that'd be a damn good match. We've seen it 4 times this year, though. And then Cena. No, we've even seen it more. They've had 2 Raw matches, 2 pay-per-views. They fought at the match. 5. 5 or more plus matches. Pay-per-view and Raws in main events. And now they're going to make this one a 6th. I don't know. Sting, what are you doing to me? You're fucking up my WrestleMania.